What's going on, guys? Welcome back to At the Pump. I'm Patrick.
I'm Brian.
We're here to have some fun. It's going to be a little bit unique because we're going to spend the next 20 minutes or so kind of embarrassing me. We're going to go over all the cars, the good, the bad, the ugly that I've owned over the years. And I'm not really proud of the amount that I've had.
There's some really good ones. There's some really bad ones. And unfortunately, this guy has had more vehicles since I've known him than girlfriends. So
Well,
without further ado, we'll start. The first car you had that I know of right when you got your license was a 2005 F-150.
Yeah.
That was set up like a pro street truck, kind of if they made a Ford Lightning in that year. That's kind of what it would have looked like.
Absolutely. So that was like the newer body style. It was a two-door silver truck that had the 5.4 liter in it. It was awesome. It was far from stock in the fact that, I mean, it had hood, grills, body kit, lowered, 22-inch wheels,
Looked really
flush
nice.
bumper in the rear, some motor work done to it. It was awesome. In two-door trucks back in the day were cool. I mean, that was the thing. I don't think two-door trucks are I think they're a thing in the past.
Yeah, I would agree.
But it was really cool. I really enjoyed it. So
from there, we go to a Mustang GT.
Jumped into a Mustang GT. It was a 2007 black GT CS, the California Special, my first manual car. And it was awesome. I learned how to drive in that car in a parking lot with my dad. We spent just a couple hours doing that, burning some clutch here and there,
Yeah,
maybe
right.
burning some tires on accident.
Right.
But it was fun. So I had that car, lowered wheels. That was the car that really kind of got me hooked on the driving aspect of cars, right? So it was a lot of fun.
From there, Pontiac G8 GT.
Yes, such a good car. I love that car. At the time, I wanted another V8, but I wanted to have more room. The coupe was cool, but it's two people. That's it.
Right.
And the G8, God, I love that car when it came out because there's really nothing that was a fun sports car, 8-cylinder sedan.
A V8 sedan in that time, you were looking at like Beamer or Mercedes or some type of Audi.
Yeah.
The American sedans, in my opinion, in that era were kind of junk.
Yeah.
As far as like a sports sedan goes. So
You're absolutely right.
That was a good platform.
That was cool. It was a G8 GT. Had the 6.0 liter. I love that car. I would have another one to this day. I think they only made it for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
The sought after one that I'd probably look at now is the G8 GXP, which was the 6.2 liter and the 6-speed. So to have a 6-speed and a big boy sedan would be sick. I'd love to have that.
That's the bad man.
I would choose that over a new Charger.
Oh, yeah.
Scat Pack. I mean, I know it's faster, but there's something about that G8 that was just a cool car. Pontiac did that car right.
From the G8 GT, big body V8, you go to a Subaru WRX hatchback.
I did. Yeah, I was. I drove back from college for, I think, Thanksgiving.
We broke him into tuner culture, everybody.
You did. And that was the car that really set me off. Like, it was, I loved it. So I wanted something a little bit different, maybe a little more nimble, just to try a different platform.
Yeah.
Walked into the Subaru dealer looking for an STI, but it was just so far out of my budget at that time.
Yeah.
This was back, I think, 2012 to 14. It was a World Rally Blue hatchback.
Nice.
And it was sick. It was on the showroom floor. It was a 5-speed.
Nice.
I love that car, and that got me hooked on, I put the loudest exhaust I could find at the time. That's just young Pat for you, but it was a Gymkhana Crawford exhaust that was unbelievably loud.
Nice rumble.
Yeah, you hear in the Subaru rumble. It was it was cool. I really like that car. Other than that, it was pretty stock, but that was, in my mind, one of the better Subarus that was made.
Yeah, definitely. From there, you go to a Volkswagen CC Redline.
R-Line,
Or R-Line,
I did, yeah. So I went to the R-Line. It was maybe a time in my life. I was growing up a little bit, had the little blue rice rocket that was louder than heck. And, at the time I was working and just pulling up to work and, all the members and everything, just didn't want to be that guy.
Right.
So I thought maybe I'm going to adult a little bit, a young Pat adulting and growing up. So I got a CC R-Line. And it was a great car. It was fairly numb over
driving feedback.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it was like a super luxury sedan, and I really liked it. I really did. It was super comfortable. It was a good looking car. Had all the right stuff on it. It was a 2.0 turbo. I wasn't buying it for speed or performance, right? And partly I think that's the reason why I didn't keep it too long. Enjoyed it for what it was, but I think that that wore off a little bit, and then jumped right back into the tuner stuff.
Mazda Speed 3.
Yeah, I had a Mazda Speed 3. I was actually looking for another WRX like the blue one that I had because I did miss that car. But stumbled across a good deal on a Mazda Speed 3, and that car wasn't really even considered it wasn't the Subaru or the Evo. Let's be real, right? It was a 4-cylinder turbo front wheel drive car. It was actually a lot of fun. That was the car that I probably spent most track time on outside of some of the Miatas that I had. It was a ton of autocross events, a ton of open track days, HPD stuff like that. It was cool. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't the best platform to be doing stuff like that. Ton of torque steer. Had a hard time putting the power to the ground. I probably had a little too much power on that car. It was a stage 2 car. Fun to drive. It ripped, but it wasn't the best platform from a race car standpoint. But again, I wasn't building a race car, but it was fun. Wasn't a Subaru though.
From there, you go to a Hyundai Genesis track or the 3.8 coupe.
I did. I jumped into Hyundai. Was never even on the map at all. I mean, their cars were pretty bad up until that car, and that I think was the moment that Hyundai started getting into the tuner culture, because that became a very popular car, and you still see them at car shows today.
Yeah, no, that's a great platform. Manual, good power out of the V6 for the size and stuff.
It looked good. It was kind of super wide hips in the rear.
Good. Yeah.
I liked the car. The one thing that it lacked was just the interior quality and the features was just very Hyundai at the time.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, I actually bought that car at our Penske Jag Land Rover store, now knowing that I've worked for the company. So, but traded in there. I really enjoyed that car for a little bit, but moved on.
Nice. From that, you go back to a Subaru. This one's the sedan, newer body style.
Yep, that was right when that new sedan came out in 2015. I bought a white one from a Subaru store here in Arizona, and I liked it, but it wasn't the car that the previous generation I had was, in my opinion. Just it was nice, it was fun, but I kept it for probably close to a year, which is a long time for me.
Yeah, definitely. So out of that, probably up till now, I think the best car on the list, classic benchmark for performance, BMW M3.
Yeah.
So
I was working for BMW at the time, and this is right when the F80 body style came out, where they went away from the 8-cylinder.
So weird.
Yeah, it was a cool car, right? I mean, it was sick. So we had such a good program for BMW employees that I ended up ordering the car exactly how I wanted it from the BMW factory. Took 3 months to get here. Pretty base build. I did go DCT instead of the manual. I felt that suited the car. That was my only car at the time.
Right.
So it was one of my favorite cars to date. I really enjoyed it. Had it for about a year, and it was sick. I would strongly consider having another one.
Hopefully we don't repeat any of these steps going from the BMW to a Fiat 500 Abarth.
This is not public knowledge for a lot of people. Even my closest friends. Brian didn't even know this. But you know what? We're about transparency here, so let's talk about it. But things change, right? Life changes. Different scenarios, different focuses on whether your family, what you're looking to do, and directions you're going. So I said, you know what? Let's sell it. I was living a mile and a half from the dealership. I'm like, I don't need I'm never using the M3 ever, really anyways.
Right. So
a Fiat Abarth came into my mind. I bought the car. I had it for 29 days. Each day, I continually regretted my decision. And I mean, the only fun thing about that car was that my garage was a tandem back-to-back garage, super long. You can fly into that garage like 30 miles an hour, pull the e-brake and slide it sideways, and you're still in your garage. You're not hitting anything. Nice. So that was it. But no, never again. And I'm glad that's out.
So out of the Fiat into a Mark 7 Volkswagen GTI?
Yep. I was having heat stroke because I needed to get rid of this thing. I was so embarrassed by it. I couldn't even park it at work. I parked it around the corner.
Yeah.
So I got rid of it. I just scoured the internet. Loved the MK7 body style of the new GTI. I found an MK7. I found a 2-door, which I thought was cool. Almost all of them for sale out there were the 5 doors essentially. Yeah. This was the 3-door. So it's just 2 doors on the side, 1 in the rear, sunroof delete, pretty base car. It was awesome. I really like that car. If I'm in the market now for another 4-cylinder turbo, I'm going to look at an MK7. No question.
From that, back to an American muscle car, Mustang GT with the 5.0 Coyote motor, newer body style.
5.0 Coyote motor. It was ruby red metallic. I love the way that car looked. I love the motor. I thought it was a great car, and it was. I really enjoyed driving it. Did some stuff to it. Had it lowered on some Vorsteiner wheels that I believe actually I bought it from a guy. I think they came off of his W204C63. And so to have some super nice, expensive German wheels on a Mustang, I don't think many people do that. So I did it, and it looked great.
Yeah,
awesome car to drive.
Stance to it.
Two things on the Mustang. One, the Mustang community was the stigma that bugged me, because every young kid in this world has a Mustang GT, puts a straight pipe on it, and is blasting it under tunnels, losing control. The second part, dude, the fuel economy was the worst I've ever had. I got like 11 to 12 miles per gallon on that car.
Wow.
It was bad.
That's thirsty.
It's thirsty. I said, you know what? Nope.
Okay.
Next.
So from that, back to a truck, into a Toyota Tacoma TRD off-road.
Life changed. We had some more, we were getting more into road biking and mountain biking, and having a truck in the family is awesome.
Yeah.
I loved it because the use of it, throw stuff in the bed. It's you can use it for a lot of stuff. Put mountain bikes back there for moving, which we were. Can put stuff in there too, so it was good. The Toyota Tacoma looked good, but a couple oversights. One of which the driver's seat doesn't go up and down. It oscillates front and back, and it reclines. But being 6'4", 6'5", I bought the truck sight unseen. I went and picked it up, driving it home, and my hair and my head's hitting the ceiling, so it was brutal. So I had to like really lean back.
You had to gangster lean it.
I did. But anyways, so they need to fix that. And the transmission on those trucks is so dated.
Not the greatest.
They've got to get away from the 5 and 6 speeds and get into something newer.
Yeah. From that, back to a tuner car, 2019 Subaru WRX STI.
Yep. Wanted to scratch that itch again. I scoured the internet for World Rally Blue. That was the color that I wanted.
Yeah.
I had it in the past. I wanted it. I was actually looking for another 2014 STI or WRX in the hatchback. Just couldn't find one, or the prices have held their value so much that
you might as well
just get a new one. Yeah. So I found one actually up in a small mountain town in northern Arizona called Sholo, and long story short, went up and bought it. I had to work at 12 o'clock that day. I left my house at 4. It's a 3-hour drive.
4 a.m.
4 a.m. Drove all the way up there, traded in my truck. I was wearing my work clothes already. Drove all the way back.
Damn.
Got to my shift. So
nice.
Was a good car. Painted the wheels BBS gold, and I thought it looked really good.
Oh yeah.
So
that was awesome. From there, opportunity came along to get into your now toy car as the 2000 Audi B5 S4.
Yeah, so that's my fun. I currently have 2 cars. So my main daily driver is a 2019 SQ5, which is kind of their sport midsize SUV. It's probably the best SUV. Daily, arguably in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it is super comfortable, super modern. It's quick as heck, and I really, really enjoy that car. So that's what we daily is a 19 SQ5. The fun little toy car, the weekend car for me now is a 2000 B5 S4.
Nice.
And I was so intrigued by those cars. Some of my buddies had them, and I didn't know really anything about that side of the Euro culture. Mm-hmm. Never had anything like it, especially back 20 years old, right?
True.
And I bought it here locally. It's a stage 3 car. The gentleman just moved from California, an older guy that bought it to do some half-mile stuff, and ended up purchasing an RS7 to do that with, which is like big money stuff there. So ended up picking it off of him. I'm a perfectionist, right? So I'm trying to do everything I can to make the car up to date, whether it's paint, whether it's modernizing the car, doing maintenance and supporting mods and things like that. So I think I just finished kind of like, version 1 for me on the car. I'm kind of going to continue to work on version 2. So we'll talk about that as we get there, of kind of what my plans are with the car and what I like to do as far as color and some mods and stuff for it.
Nice. So over the years, have you had any like shifter carts or bikes that you want to talk about? I know you've had some toys that are kind of weekend only toys, street use.
I was in, rightfully so, I had 3 Miatas. So cue your hairdresser jokes. I should have my hair dryer here around us, just have it on the table for reference. But had 3 Miatas. I had 2 NB Miatas, which was a 99 and a 2000. One was army green, like a matte army green. That was kind of a track car that we had that my dad and I were racing a lot and had a lot of fun doing that.
Nice.
Picked up another one from an old gentleman. I was 85 years old and just didn't need a car anymore. Found it in Sun City. And if anyone knows Arizona, Sun City is like...
It's like the retirement home.
It's the retirement home.
Like a wrinkle
of the
ranch.
Retirement home.
Yeah.
Right? So Found it from this gentleman, bought it. It was another green car. It was just like a forest green. And that was something that my wife would drive on the weekends for fun. And I would take to track days too. So change the wheels and tires and go have some fun.
Rip it around, yeah.
And then also had a 1993 NA, which is the pop up headlight car. It was red. It was a 1.6 liter, so a little bit smaller, but it was supercharged. And I had all the plans in the world to build that car, but just ended up not being the right platform for me. It just it wasn't. And to get someone like myself to fit in a Miata is hard enough in general.
You're like bolting the seat to the
Yeah,
floorboard.
I mean, you're putting like Kirky seats and Ultra Shield aluminum seats directly to the floor. You actually, and sometimes cutting the floor to put it in there, and which it's doable. But to get yourself under the roll bar with your helmet and things like that.
Yeah.
But no, to this day I still think Miatas are one of the best and cheapest way to go out and have some fun racing. You learn a lot driving a Miata, a low horsepower car at 140 horsepower. It's a momentum car, right?
Yeah.
So you've got to, I think it's a great platform to learn how to go fast on a small car, on a slow car. Anyone can jump out there with a Camaro ZL1. Would it be a lot of fun? Absolutely. But I guarantee the guys that drive and learn how to drive on low horsepower momentum style cars, you mess up a corner, you have just lost so much time. So I think that's, if anyone's ever looking to get into track cars, find yourself a Miata, find yourself a Civic, find yourself a low horsepower, very easy, maintained, cheap car to drive, and go drive it. Just get seat time. Just drive the car. Don't worry about power.
Seat time and experience is the most important thing.
There's nothing better than a new Camaro SS or a Mustang to look in the rearview mirror and see a little $5,000 Miata
creeping up on them.
Yeah. You know, they'll completely lose me in the straightaway. I mean, I'm non-existent to them. But after turn 6, 7, 8, 9, and they look back and see that little Miata behind them, I love that. I think that's just a cool thing.
Oh,
so, yeah. But jumping in, I did do some karting as well. Karting was a lot of fun. It's a totally different driving experience, karting, than track day stuff.
I can imagine.
It's different. It's so direct. Every motion, everything you're doing. And I think I'm 31 years old. You know, it beat me up completely, but it was a lot of fun. I did enjoy it. I just think for me, you can learn a lot karting. You can learn a lot at track days. Do whatever fits your budget and whatever you want to do, and have some fun doing it.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
But other than that, a couple motorcycles too. A couple of Ducatis here. Had a Yamaha FZ10, had an FZ6, which was my first bike, but the FZ10 was the naked version of the R1, and it was a monster. I really enjoyed it. But bikes were fun. I've spent some time on two wheels, not only just growing up with dirt bikes, but recently, and just sticking with four wheels for now.
Yeah, safe stuff. You're married.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, we got that out of the way. We've made fun of me. Yeah. So let's. I don't think you've met anyone that's had more cars than I've had.
No, not even close.
I'm not really proud of it.
And he's only 31.
Right. So God bless. We'll see where this takes us. But let's jump into you.
Okay.
You know, you're kind of on the other side of the spectrum. You're a little JDM boy at heart.
Yeah.
You're a little Honda fanboy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to jump in. Let's just kind of talk about some of your cars that you're driving now. So started with a Honda Accord.
Yeah. First car, used Honda Accord back in high school. One of the most fun times I've ever had with a front wheel drive car with like 125 horsepower.
Speaking of which,
was one night we go to In-N-Out Burger here on the West Coast. I hope you guys know what
by one night he means like a couple times a week, but that's okay.
We would get the red trays they give you your meals in, buy like French fries and a burger, leave with 2 trays.
The plastic trays, like you get at McDonald's and stuff. Yeah.
Go to an abandoned, at that time it was like 11 o'clock at night. No one's in front of the van's golf shop parking lot.
Empty parking lot.
So we throw the trays under the rear wheels, rip the e-brake, and I'm thinking at 16, 17 years old, like I got a drift car just flying around the parking lot.
Incredibly fun. No. I mean, we burned through those trays so much, and we would just burn through a set, go to McDonald's, buy a Sprite, and then go get some trays.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that. That was so much fun. We just have you back on them, rip the e-brake, and just go for it. And you're sliding around like on ice skates.
Exactly.
But that was fun. And you've had a couple Honda Accords. You went from that one to another one, right? A newer one?
Yeah. So then in college, got a V6 coupe with a sunroof and leather. I thought I was like stepping up in life.
Baller.
Yeah. You'd floor it to get on the freeway and VTEC would kick in. Ooh, my.
You look on me, man.
Yeah. But it was, time and purpose. We were in golf life back then, and Honda was cheap, reliable, good on gas. So that's what got me to and from all the courses.
So you decided to go from complete in just transportation
Pretty much, yeah.
to a Kawasaki ZX6R.
Yeah, so then I finally was able to save up some money and was looking to get something that would satisfy like the adrenaline rush itch. I got to go a little faster. This isn't cutting it. Looking into tuner cars and stuff at that time, something nice was 20 grand.
Right.
You know, something nice and fast. I get a few friends that are riding these, you know, at the time was a CBR 600RR,
Sport bikes. Yeah.
a
Japanese sport
Kawasaki
bikes.
ZX6 or a 636. Yeah, and I'm like, whoa, these are like blowing the cars away. Like any car, like Corvettes, Vipers, whatever, just
twist the throttle and hold on.
and I'm like, whoa, these are like $3,500, $4,000. So boom, hopped on one of those. My friend hooked me up with a mechanic. We went out and looked at one, found a great ZX6, a 2004 on Craigslist here, bought it, did some, I mean, Arkapovich or Akrapovic, however you want to say.
Akrapovich.
Exhaust, power commander, and that thing was awesome. This was like the gas crisis in our day. So when gas was first like $3.50 a gallon,
Yeah.
you'd throw 10, $12 in there and you're good.
Good for a long time.
I was using that to commute to school and stuff and take it around on the freeways back when no one was driving out here. I feel like it's doubled in population since like 2010,
right?
2011, 12. So
after the bike, you decided to go more luxury life and went from Honda to the Acura.
Yeah. So I had always
TSX.
had the car. I had never had like bike life only. So the bike was always like
A toy.
a fun toy.
Right.
It wasn't main mode of transportation. Then, moved on to a TSX and Acura, which was essentially a Honda Accord wrapped in a tuxedo.
Right.
So I felt like it was a little luxury car for me. Then unfortunately in the TSX, I got T-boned by a guy that made an illegal left turn. T-boned me, which then recycled that into an Acura TL,
Okay.
which I had done like a muffler delete, a K&N intake. It was like a little, you know, sounded good at least. I thought it was like a little performance sedan, but
It's a good looking car.
To me, it was fun.
Absolutely.
It was good looking. Yeah. And then from there, it wasn't that it was boring, but I wanted something fun again.
Yeah.
And this was more like an A to B commuter sedan. One of my friends came upon a WRX. He had bought and sold cars on like Craigslist and stuff. Stumbled across this one and I was like, listen, what do you need? Do not post this tomorrow. Saw he had a 2005 World Rally Blue Subaru WRX in mint condition.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've got to have this car. So that was what I bought as my toy car and kind of the weekend hobby. And have dove straight into that. I mean,
give us a quick rundown of kind of what the car's at and what you've done to it, and maybe some future plans, just to give the viewers some idea of what you're looking.
I mean, honestly, the original plan, I was gonna, intake, exhaust, and tune it. Just get it to breathe well. Nothing crazy expensive. Replacing clutch, master slave cylinder. I blew the motor, so we're on motor number 2. Typical Subi problem. I'm sure most of you guys can relate. And my philosophy is if it's broke, you're going to buy it right or you're going to buy it twice.
Right.
So I always buy the nicest kind of part or upgrade possible.
You put a built motor in that car, right?
Yeah, so it's Outfront Motorsports EJ257, what they consider like a grocery getter. It's not like dart and sleeved or crazy closed
considerably
deck
better than
build.
stock.
But yeah, considerably better than stock. It's got a new GTX compressor wheel on a VF39. Injector dynamics, 1050 cc injectors, bigger fuel pump, and on ethanol it's like 330 to the wheel.
Got it,
horsepower
which is
and
plenty
torque.
in a little all-wheel drive car.
Yeah, I mean at this point I love it. It's enough for me to cruise around. Would I like more power? Yeah. Do I want to buy more parts when I break shit? No.
That's my world.
So
stay where you're at.
So I'm kind of at that teeter point where I'm maxed out for the platform I have now. If I go any more with the power, I'm probably going to blow a transmission or axles or something. So I love that thing. That's not my daily because we live in Arizona. For me, I feel it's necessary now that we have cars with cooled seats. So I have
AC, which you don't have in the WRX.
Right.
So
I've got 2015 Kia Optima that's like fully loaded. I love that car as far as like the little tiny
Yeah, well, I mean,
luxuries.
listen, it gets you from A to
Yeah.
B, right?
Yeah,
And that's what
exactly.
you need. But no, that's fun. I mean, it's fun to kind of give the viewers a little bit insight into the cars that you had, your background, your likes and dislikes about things, and then
Yeah.
same for me too. So I've been all over the map. I mean, God, I'm not proud of it by any means, but it's funny because you learn what you like, what you don't like, what sticks, what you want to maybe that you don't know enough about that you want to learn,
Yeah.
and jump right in. Right,
Yeah.
we're in a position in life where we're allowed to do that, and we can do that with with our money and things like that. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. I am there's so many cars that I want to have. And
Well, the other thing too, it's so cool is a lot of these cars that were in our era are now insanely affordable in the used market.
Yes.
Like when we were in our late teens and early 20s, the used market was kind of dog shit
It
unless
was.
you were spending 20 grand.
Yeah, I mean, it was Civics. It was just there really
Yeah.
wasn't anything. So the cars that when we were that age that we looked up to and that were cool are affordable for us now as
Right.
even as a daily driver, as a weekend car, right?
Right.
So it's fun to explore that and kind of just find what you like and what you don't.
Definitely.
So you're going to continue to build your car. I'm going to continue to do mine. You're on phase 2 of yours. I'm just finished phase 1. I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Phase 2 is around the corner of just making it mine, doing what I want to do. And if I,
Right.
you trial and error it, but no, it's a lot of fun. And we wanted to give you guys a little insight into, where we come from, our good choices.
And
Our
sometimes
mistakes.
bad. Yeah.
Yep. No FIAT Abarth for anybody, please. I could tell you right now, go buy a golf cart.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, so this was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to it. We just wanted to kind of chat a little bit, give you some insight into our history.
Yeah.
But there's many more cars to come. We'll do an episode of things that we want to purchase and reasons for it. But we appreciate you guys listening. If you're one of our YouTube followers, enjoy watching the videos. Please like and subscribe and comment on there and just kind of give us your feedback. If you're listening audio wise, we're available on a couple channels. We're on Anchor, we're on Google Play, we're on Spotify, soon to be
Soon to
iTunes.
come iTunes.
We're on a lot of different platforms. So whether you're driving in the car or sitting at home in front of your computer, you can watch at the pump. But we wanted to thank you guys for listening and tune in for some more. And we're gonna keep cranking out some videos for fellow car guys.
Yeah,
and
guys,
gals.
weekly content for enthusiasts by enthusiasts.
Absolutely.
So stick around for the show.
Let's have some fun. Thanks.